We don't play. Now, Petrian know what about we breed every day. Your Honor, them indict we for standing up against the harmful stereotypes that have been perpetrated against the men. I come here to represent myself and a few. We living in a century where we living on lies. Society said the hurdles and we have to comply. We gonna pay with dues, we don't get reviews. Not for we get broken and we fall into the news. But it's all the brothers said we gonna take a stand. Representing hope, rebuilding the brand. We gonna take a brother hand in hand. Empower, elevate every boy, every man. Learn me. I just want to reveal my light slowly. Look close, you're gonna see a better man. Learn me. I just want to reveal my light slowly. Look close, my friend. I have a right. I have a right, I have a voice, I have a voice. Make it right, make it right. We don't have to fight this. I have a right, I have a right, I have a voice, I have a voice. Make it right, make it right. We don't have to fight this. My brother say we here for you. I understand the struggle cause I've been there too. No definition that could come by you. All the belly mental pain that they put we through. But look upon the horizon, see mankind winning and rising, rejecting, coming and fighting. Oh Lord, this is so exciting. Learn me. I just want to reveal my light slowly. Look close, you're gonna see a better man. Learn me. I just want to reveal my light slowly. Look close, my friend. I have a right, I have a right, I have a voice, I have a voice. Make it right, make it right. We don't have to fight this. I have a right, I have a right, I have a voice, I have a voice. Make it right, make it right. We don't have to fight this. We living in a century where we living on lies. Society said the hurdles and we have to comply. We gonna pay with dues, we don't get reviews. Not for we get broken and we fall into the news. But it's all the brothers said we gonna take a stand. Representing hope, rebuilding the brand. We gonna take a brother hand in hand. Empower, elevate every boy, every man. Learn me. I just want to reveal my light slowly. Look close, you're gonna see a better man. Learn me. I just want to reveal my light slowly. Look close, my friend. I have a right, I have a right, I have a voice. full 100, working it full 100, working it full 100. Everything we put we on to doing it full 100. Time to praise the Lord, we say we praising him full 100. Working in the ministry, we working it full 100, working it full 100. Turn that music up, yes, turn it up louder. Never make it stop, take the message to the border. This is how we do it, cause we talk the truth to power. Walking in the spirit, walking in the water. Happy that we blessed. Full 100, walking in forgiveness. Full 100, healing from disease. Full 100, totally redeemed. Full 100, strength to the youth. Full 100, friendly with the truth. Full 100, free from oppression. Full 100, always on a mission. Full 100.
Lord, I'm glad you know my name. You set my heart aflame. You set my feet on a solid rock to stay. I'm glad I've made this choice. You've given me a voice, and now I can rejoice.
Watch us groove. They call me Mr. Diligent. When me ways up please the Lord, I'm dining with the president. Thankful for the warriors who praise me through the testament. Praise me through the testament. Praise me through the testament. Everything we put we on to doing it full 100. Time to praise the Lord, we say we praising him full 100. Working in the ministry, we working it full 100. Working it full 100. Working it full 100. Everything we put we on to doing it full 100. Time to praise the Lord, we say we praising him full 100. Working in the ministry, we working it full 100. Working it full 100. Working it full 100.
Lord, I'm glad you know my name. You set my heart aflame. You set my feet on a solid rock to stay. I'm glad I've made this choice. You've given me a voice, and now I can rejoice.
Good evening, good evening. How are you all doing this wonderful Thursday evening, the 22nd of January 2026? Rock and come in, people, rock and come in. I still hear people talking about last week's program, Last week people were talking about the reason why women fake. And some women admitting that they does fake. And some of them giving a shame blush when they raise it. So they listen and they listen in quietness. Yeah, that's the truth. I must bring one as to whether men does fake or not. Hey, before we go on, let me remind you that there are 5 stages of a relationship, and there's a free program that's coming up to help you to understand the 5 phases. The reason why people have a revolving door relationship is because as they're going through the phases, when they hit phase 3, they jump out the relationship to get a next relationship thinking that it's going to be better, and phase 3 they lash that again, and they do it over and over and over. most people leave in phase 3. Find out what phase 3 is in this introductory course that we're going to be having. You need to go to my website. The website is at www.michaelatstewart.com. Right? It is www.michaelatstewart.com, and you go there and you register for it. I hear some people saying, sir, they have a little technical difficulty. It seems as though some people's devices giving trouble. I don't know whether it is cell phones or what have you, but we're trying to fix it. We are trying to work on it. Okay? Alright, that having been said, let me say hello. I always like to say hello to those people who are usually on. Joseanne, hey! Oh yeah, man, Joseanne. Good that you could visit us. Licol Beach. What is that? I don't know what Charmin Boys is saying. But Charmin, like you didn't have class tonight either. Oh! You break beach. I know. Alright, so all of you others who are here, my sister Diane, Pamela, good evening to you, Charmin, Jofield, and Charmin Boys. Good evening to you all, Candice Alexander, Kenneth Hodge, nice, Edwin Tulsi, nice to have you all. We're going to have a wonderful program this evening. We're talking about the questions you should ask yourself before you leave a relationship. Too many people leave the relationship, and then after they've left, they are no better off. They regret because they left in haste and repent in leisure. Don't make that mistake. I've seen people left and marry back the person they left because they recognize that this wasn't a thing that they were supposed to have. I've seen people left, marry somebody else, and cheating with the person they left. Yeah. Oh yes, you ran away from class. Alright. I hope you told Clancy I said hello. Yes, Lawrence. Good evening. Sandra Lamb, good evening. Welcome, come in, people. Hey, Sandra Lamb, I am in your island. Oh, not your island, because you do have an island. Guyana is not an island. Alright. But I'm in Guyana next week. You'll see me. I hope we will get a chance to hook up. I would not be there for long, but I'm really hoping that we will get a chance to hook up. Alright, Sandra? Alright. Nice. Alright, so I'm saying that people have left, marry somebody else and cheat with the person they left. People have left, marry and get pregnant for the person they left. It shows that we are not thinking through this thing. Just as to get married, you should never marry without good advice. You should never marry in haste, but you should take your time and do it diligently. But even so, when you're leaving, don't leave in haste. Take your time, get good advice, and do it properly. Make sure that you have thought it through properly before you make it. How does it go? Marriage should not be entered into unadvisedly, reverently, discreetly, and in the fear of God. Same way when you're leaving, you should also leave with all of those tenets as your priority. But I want you to ask questions this evening before you leave. And these questions are for you to ask, not for you to ask the next person. For you to ask. Alright, so I'm going to try to pack 10 of them inside here for you. Number one, you ask the question, what exactly is the problem? And as a licensed marriage officer, which I am, and as a counselor, whom I am, many times when you're talking to people who say they want to leave, you can't get a clear indication that the person has clarity as to why they are leaving. They know they're not happy. They know that they don't feel comfortable. They know that they are that they're going through this phase. but they don't know why they are leaving, the exact problem. Well, I don't think that it's working out. It's not a reason. That does not show that you know why you are leaving. Well, the person don't treat me good. What is it they do that makes you think that you are not treating good? But when they begin to search for the reason, once they have to search for it, it means that they're not clear on it. Well, I think I could do better. Those are reasons that people give. That's not reason for somebody to leave. That shows that you are not clear, because everybody's in a relationship that they feel that they could do better. They could get a better person, or they could have a better life, or they could enjoy a better relationship. Every relationship you go into, you will experience that. Trust me on it. So there isn't that clarity. So you should ask yourself, what exactly is the problem? Is it behavior? Are you being beaten? Are you being abused? What is it? And even if you are being abused, what is that abuse like? Because the person doesn't agree with you, because the person shouts at you, it's not abuse. You understand? So, well, I have in psychological abuse. What does that mean? And then you'll recognize they don't even know what it means. Well, my wife is narcissistic. My husband is narcissistic. What do you mean by the person is narcissistic? They're only thinking about themselves. Who doesn't? Who doesn't? You asked me a question. Let me ask you a question. If somebody shows you a picture, a group picture, from your class reunion, from a church group, from your office group and so on, and they show you a group picture, you are in the picture. You know you are in the picture because you did pose for it. Who will you look for first to see how that person look in the picture? You tell me. Everybody, save and except none, look to find themselves first to see how they look. Everybody thinks about themselves. Why do you think that it is going to be different, that somebody else must think of you first? Are you all with me? Right. I want you to put your questions, put your comments. I put them in the chat. I like to read them, even if it is not a question, but your reflection on it. If you don't agree, I want to also see that. So just put it in the comments there, and we're going to try and address them. Alright? So ask your question, why? Because many people say we have problems, and it is a general statement, but they never define those problems. And if you can't name the real issue, you may end the marriage without ever addressing what truly needs healing. Because you could have healed it if you found it, but you never found it. Because you're making a decision based on how you feel. Alright? So, think about it, my people. Do not leave in haste. You will repent in leisure. To other Frida Leaks, good evening. Nice having you, man. United States in the house, Guyana in the house, St. Lucia in the house. Yeah, and if anybody is any part of the world, please just let me know. Yeah, we'd like to always know. I even got a message from somebody. Hey boy, it's Singapore, some far off country that I didn't even know that people were watching the thing too. I forget the name of the place. Alright, so let's go back to it now. So I hope people writing down what exactly the problem is. The number one question. Number two question: is this relationship unsafe, or is it simply unhappy? Is it unsafe, or is it simply unhappy? If it is unsafe, clearly you have to take decisive actions in an unsafe relationship. You ought to try this. Ginger, lemon, and cinnamon. Try it. you like it. Yes. Is the relationship unsafe, or is it just simply unhappy? Why? Why do we need to ask that question? Because there's a difference between a marriage that is dangerous, where abuse is taking place, threats, severe control, not just control, but severe control, because you will have some control in a relationship. Somebody would want to control something, but severe control where you can't seem to breathe. So there's a difference between that and one that is painful, which means you are not happy, it is difficult to be in, but you don't leave a relationship, a good relationship, you don't leave an average relationship because it is difficult. Because every relationship will find its difficulty. Just because you have a neglect, that is what is going to happen in some things. Somebody is going to neglect you. You are not the top of the food chain. Conflict, you all don't agree, you all quarrel a lot. That happens. That is not rocket science. Emotional distance, hey, there are so many people living for years with the emotional bank empty. That does not mean you have to leave, because we are not here to stroke your ego. You are not here to stroke mine. Your emotional bank is empty. That is a very unhappy situation to be in. But do you leave a relationship, especially if it is marital, because of that? Of course, if you are in the courtship stage and you're making a decision to get married and so on, then I think you have a different situation here. But we're talking about the people who are in it and they're in a covenant relationship. Then you have to ask yourself. So safety requires urgent boundaries. You need to make decisive actions and that. But unhappiness requires you to make some honest work and strategies, sit down and talk and work things out. Yeah? If you have an emotional issue that emotionally you are not getting satisfied from your spouse, that is not grounds for leaving, that is grounds to work on it. Because you are never going to find a relationship, ma'am. You are never going to find a relationship, sir, where all of your emotional needs are satisfied. This is not an emotional boutique called marriage, where you go inside and you select the brand, the size, the color that you like. This is something that you go inside of there and you order the relationship. You are in the relationship. It comes with baggage. It comes with a lot of things that you have to work out. That dress that you bought in the store, you could take it back. But when you go there and you select a relationship and select a spouse and you marry that spouse, you can't go and just take them back just so. It's not a boutique. So that tear in the dress, they would be able to take that back. But the torn relationship and the torn issues in your relationship, you've got to fix. You've got to mend that back. You've got to work on it to get it back. And so forget about this modern day Facebook kind of thing. If you're not happy, leave it. You deserve better. You could do better and so on. Hey, that is why so many people single. They swallowed that pill that was not for them, because that person most likely was single and therefore want to see you single too. Because most people who you hear talking like that, most people who you hear talking like that are single. And I challenge you to if you doubt me, challenge me to it. Right? Put your comments on it, whether you feel what I just said there made sense or not. Yeah. Thank you, Wayne. Charmaine Boy said, some fed up of the same thing over and over. Are fed up of the same thing over and over. Argument, blame, abuse. Yes, that is frustrating. It is frustrating. But when you look at the vows, for better or for worse, that part is the worst. And we say it with smiles and tears down our eyes on the wedding day. But we didn't know that we would have meet it. We thought it would have been better, full stop. We thought it would be better, not worse. Rich, not poor. Health, not sickness. But we get all. We get all. Yep. So, there are some of us have to live under the stress of a relationship that is not fulfilling. Because there's a greater purpose in a marriage. Not your happiness. It is not the ultimatum in the relationship. Peyton, this is a new name. Peyton Jinky Kinu. Peyton, where are you from? May I ask? And is this your first time? But let me see what Peyton is saying. There are rules for single and rules for married. Some rules that apply for single will not do not apply married. Boom, Peyton. Go to the head of the class. Absolutely. Two different rules. While you are courting, while you are single, you can make the selection. Don't make a bad selection using marital rules. But when you get into the marriage, don't plan to leave using single people rules. I like that, Peyton. Yeah. Remember to tell me where you're calling from. Alright. So, we've given you two so far. Let me give you a third one. Right? The first one is you have to ask the question, what exactly is the problem? Home in on it. Have clarity. Bible says write the vision down and make it plain. There are things that we have to be able to sit down and write it so plain that somebody else who reads it could run with it. But if nobody could understand what it is you're crying about, what is it you're complaining about, why is it you're leaving the lady? She has children for you and everything. Right? What is it? Because you found a new lady? Nah, that ain't good ones. Alright? Second question is this relationship unsafe or simply unhappy? So we go to number 3. Number 3 question is, have I communicated clearly? That's the question you should ask yourself. Have I communicated clearly and consistently and respectfully what I need? Now you may find that is a dumb question, but it's not. Yeah? Some people never was clear with what they are struggling with in the relationship. It's only after they leave the person finds out. And I have had to talk to so many people whose relationship break up, and they saying and they swear to it, even though I don't believe in swearing, that they have no idea. They say, Mr. Stewart, I mean, we're having problems like any other marriage and so on, any other relationship, but for them to pick up and leave, I never see that. And some of them really genuine, some of them were just blind. Because when you talk to the next spouse, this first spouse, Mr. Stewart, I'm tired, I talk, I stop talk, and. So yeah, there are some spouses, deaf, dumb, blind. They have a malady of all three. Deaf, dumb, and blind is dangerous. Because the person has been talking, the person has been quarreling, and they stop, and they still never got when they talk nor when they stop. Yeah? So, I know of some people who have been surprised. But, I also know of people who never saw it coming. They knew that they were having some problem, but never saw that it was to the point that the person would leave. And when they speak to the other person, they said, well, I feel that they're supposed to know. No, it don't happen like that. So have you communicated clearly? You owe it to your spouse to be absolutely clear. People are not mind readers. They read newspapers. They don't read minds. Make it clear over and over. Just as sometimes you have to make it clear over to a child, you have to make it clear to your spouse. Whether it's to your husband or to your wife. Make it clear, but don't think that saying it once or twice is enough. It's a relationship. It's a life decision you are making to leave the person. You may have to repeat it over and over. It may take weeks, may take a while, but do it, because you don't want to end up leaving thinking it is going to be better, and recognize that you are leaving with issues that you perpetrated in the relationship. So make it clear. Be consistent in making it clear, and be respectful, because that's another thing. Let me point that out. Some people, when they are expressing what they need in the relationship or what is not going for the relationship, they are downright disrespectful, they are downright insulting, they compare the person with somebody else. Who hears when you're comparing them to somebody else? Your friend husband, your friend wife, and so on. No, you can't do that. Where you learn that? Where you learn that somebody would say, oh, I'm glad to now know this. I'm not like as good as his friend or her friend. No. Alright. Alright, Peyton. Peyton is from USA. Thank you, Peyton. Rock and come in, Peyton. Alright. So, some relationships collapse because one partner expected change without direct conversations as to what change and how that change is going to impact upon them. Because especially if you're communicating it through shouts, anger, frustration, people don't hear through all of that. They hear the emotion, they hear the insult, but the content of what you're saying is lost because there's too much noise going on with your body language. Your body language speaking too loud that you're upset and so on. But some people think that because you know that I'm upset, you're supposed to know that I'm not happy. But they would not know what the issue is, the essence of the issue. So, if you never clearly express your needs, then separation becomes a decision made without giving the relationship a fair chance to heal. It's not fair. Okay. Time for a commercial break. Let me remind you, we have a free introductory course. There are 5 stages of relationship. You need to know those 5 stages. Because every time you enter into a relationship, even if it is a relationship as a business relationship, a church relationship, or an intimate relationship, there are 5 stages of the relationship. And many people, when it comes to intimate relationship, leave at level 3. But you need to register. To register, you go to my website, www.michaelatstewart. You've got to put in that AT between the Michael Stewart. Some people leave it out. www.michaelatstewart.com. That is what it is. You'll see the flyer. Scroll down if you're on your phone, because on your laptop it will show up almost immediately, but on your phone you've got to scroll down below the flyer to see the register here sign. Click on it and register. If you're having any technical difficulty, please feel free to call me at the number on the line. It is on my Facebook page. It is 480. Well, for those overseas, let me start that again. It is 868-480-0080. This is a virtual free introductory course, because the real course is going to come the week after. This introduces you and gives you the explanation. You get a chance to be able to understand what it is and tell yourself, yes, this is something I need. Okay then, my people. Alright, Glenda Allen, good evening. Rock and come in. So for those who just came in, those who came late, we are talking about the things that I didn't even put myself back on the screen. Like I didn't want all of you to see me. Right. I'm back. Where was I? Oh yes, we were recapping. I'm trying to cover 10 questions that you must ask before you leave any relationship. What exactly is the relationship problem? Is it a behavior issue? What is the behavior? Is it a character issue? What is that character? Do they lie? Do they cheat? What is the character issue? character issue is something that somebody tends to do consistently. It's not a mistake they make once. It is something that shows up in their general being, their persona. It is who they are. So once it is a character thing, it will not happen once, it will happen again. So we need to learn to forgive people when they make a mistake. But if we see that something is happening over and over, then we know there is a character flaw. Is it a compatibility? We both think two different ways. You're a Christian, the next person is not a Christian, and you're courting. You have to tell yourself you'll have a compatibility issue. You'll have two separate values. You'll serve two separate superior beings. There's a compatibility issue. Yeah? If you don't believe me, the Bible says that be not unequally, that's a compatible with you. Do not be unequally yoked together with unbelievers. Alright? Number 2, ask yourself this question: is this relationship unsafe, or is it just simply unhappy? Number 3, have you communicated clearly, consistently, and respectfully what you need in the relationship? So we're on to number 4 now. Number 4, have we made genuine, follow me, have I made genuine attempts to repair, or are you just complaining? Now the reason why I want this to be emphasized so strongly, let me take a sip for that. I remember I had a discussion with a couple. The man is there, he's struggling to get back his relationship. She claims she's the one who set up the appointment to get help for the relationship. And we're struggling with them. And it's not the one time this has happened. This has happened to so many couples that I meet. But they would be meeting over and over, but we're not getting traction. Something or the other, it is buckling. So I decided to meet with the lady alone. And I asked the lady, Miss, do you want this relationship? Because I asked the man that alone, and he said yes, affirmative, no doubt. So when I met with her alone, do you want the relationship? She said no, I don't want it. So even if he improves, even if the relationship, that things that he is doing that might need changing, he changes and become different, are you willing to take it? She says no, regardless what he does, she doesn't. So I said, then why did you paying this money? Why did you come in? Just so that I say that I tried. She wants to be able to convince all those who ask her. I tried. And she's paying, you know. Well, I couldn't even tell the man that. She has to tell the man that. But because of counseling sessions, you can't carry news from one to the next anyway. But that was an eye-opener. And then I realized she's not singular with that. There are people come in to give the family the impression they're working on it. They do it to give the impression when they file for divorce that it is irretrievable, that they did what they can. And some people do it because they want to satisfy the court, because the court is going to ask for mediation, and they want to be able to go and say, yes, I went, but it didn't work, so give me my divorce. I'm telling you, life ain't easy, my boy. Let me see what Kenneth had saying them. Kenneth said some enter relationship with unreasonable expectation and with intention to make over their partners. Yep, because that's one of the dangers of trying to change your partner. You can't change people. It is an exhausting exercise in futility, trying to change people. Shaman Boy says, what about those who say what they need in the relationship and it's look, sounds like you are unreasonable, or alright, where they say what they want in the relationship, but it makes it come across as though they're being unreasonable. Yeah, that does happen. And there are some simple things, because everybody wants something out of a relationship. The other spouse must be prepared to look to see how they can reach that, because relationship is about giving. And dealing with Charmaine's issue there now. Relationship is about giving. It is more blessed to give than to receive. So a spouse who genuinely wants to please their partner would like to know what the partner wants, so that they can satisfy the person. Unreasonable, that is a bit subjective, because I really don't know the details as to what this unreasonable thing is. But the fact that they're willing to say is part of the solution to the problem. So if the man is a daily paid, he gets fortnightly paid, and you are asking for he must bring home 6 figures, well, that is unreasonable. If the lady has a certain size, and there are things you want in bed that she cannot make those gymnastic moves, isn't that being unreasonable? If she isn't willing to risk pulling a muscle, stretching a tendon for it. Alright, Edwin Toolsey, she's playing a game of, he didn't say of what, but I guess it's cat and mouse. Alright. So have you genuinely, that is number 4, have you genuinely made attempts to repair, or are you just complaining? Why is this important? Because complaining is not repair. So we think, because Mrs. Hurt, I talk, but you're quarreling, you're shouting, you're screaming, you're complaining, you're throwing dust in the air. Complaining is not repairing. Anytime you're making the person look inadequate, at fault, blame, you're not repairing. Because nobody rushes to solve things because you are upset that they are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Repairing means that you are saying, I would like us to have this type of relationship. I would like us to talk some more. What you're doing, you're putting yourself inside of it. I find you don't talk to me, you know. I find you doesn't spend time with me. You don't spend time with me. So what you're doing is putting the blame on the other person. But when you say, I would like us to spend more time, nobody got blamed in that, you know. We need to talk some more. Nobody got blamed. I would like us to go out together. I'd like us to go to the beach sometimes on weekend. But a lot of times people don't have the vocabulary to share what's on their heart without having to have a dagger in it, that the person feels defeated, blamed, bashed. So repair sometimes requires counseling. You may need to bring in a third person to help you. That's why on the screen, if you look on top there, you see where for private counseling you could get help. 868-480-0080, and we have helped people from all parts of the world, especially since COVID and when we are now virtual online. I've had hours talking to people that I don't know, and some I don't even see, because we do it sometimes without even turning on the camera on the Zoom or turning on the camera on the WhatsApp. The face is not critical. It is nice to see who you're talking with, but some people want to keep their identity and the facial expressions private. I need to know at least the name that I'm talking to, because I don't want to talk to some phantom. I want to talk to somebody. But if we want to keep your face private and so on, that's alright. But we do that. 868-480-0080. You need to take a picture of the screen to get that, or to write it down. But that genuine repair, you may need counseling. But also, it talks about accountability. Accountability is that when I look at the relationship, I'm not squeaky clean. I would have contributed some things to the destruction, demise, injury to this relationship. I'm amazed that sometimes when you talk to some couples and you go to one spouse, what is the problem you are having with your husband? What is the problem you're having with your wife? What's the problem you're having with your boyfriend? What's the problem you're having with your girlfriend? The one who's answering would have a plethora of reasons why that person is inadequate. Sometimes I will give them paper to write it down, and they will fill the paper, turn it over for more space. And I've had people who ask for the second paper, and I'm talking about this is a full scale paper, and they have so much to write. If they're not writing it and they're talking it, and they say, okay, I understand the challenges you gave me a couple of examples and so on. Yes, but I want to give you one more. They want to talk more about what is wrong. And then when I flip the script and say, I want you to tell me now, having told me all the things that this person has done wrong to injure the relationship, can you tell me what you have done to contribute towards it? And I give them a paper. They roll their eyes, they look all about, they bite the pen, they start to write, they scratch out. They could hardly find anything they have done. That tells me that's what one of the major issues. One time, you are not seeing yourself. You can't be so perfect. And then some people are brave enough to turn around and say that, get one. And they write it down. And when they put it, you see they write, I'm a perfectionist. Or I settled for less. Still making themselves still above. They have not accepted anything that they've done. Until people start to get serious and genuine with themselves and say, I have spoken some harsh words. I've said some things that hurt the person. I've done some things that the person felt was betrayal. I have disrespected the person. I have disappointed my wife. I let her down. I hurt her. I caused him pain. And you can be able to identify those things in detail. Until you reach that, you is not ready yet. You don't know. You are not in reality space. There is never a time a conflict takes place in generally, I'm talking about from its general standpoint, where at least both people are not to blame or to contribute towards that issue. You know why? Because one might be the commission of an act, and the other person might be the one who omitted to do an act that could have mitigated against the commission that the person did. They could have done something to prevent that thing from taking place. And I'll just give you an example. My brothers and I went out this week. We were supposed to go and spend a little time with our aunt, enjoy the time with her and so on. One of the brothers didn't show up. So one was supposed to call and confirm that we are on. The others have agreed to go, but didn't. So the next one made arrangements, not having heard the confirmation of it. So the one who did not call said, well, I told you that was the proposed date. So they think that at least I called you and told you that it was supposed to take place. The other one said, well, you didn't call and confirm. So my position is, as I told them, my position is, if you had called and confirmed, then the event would have taken place. The other brother would not have made a different arrangement. But here's what I'm telling the other brother who did not hear from them. Had you called to find out, is this thing on? You could have mitigated against that also, and you would have been there. Both people could have, each of them had a chance to have resolved that. And it's the same thing in relationships. Each person has a chance to resolve it, but we're looking at what the other person should have done, but not what we could have done. Yeah? And that's messed up. That is what happens. Alright. So that genuine attempt to repair says, listen, my spouse has not really dealt with this thing properly. They didn't talk to me right. They shouted at me. I didn't like the shouting. So instead of matching the person's behavior, what you tell yourself, alright, that is a fault the person makes. But you shouting back at them and disrespecting them and cursing them to make it worse, you contributed towards it. Whereas you could have told yourself, they're not in a good mood now, this is not a good time to be able to talk with this, and just ask the person, okay, could we continue this at another time? You would have caused some balm of Gideon to go there to solve this issue. Or the other person recognizing, I'm shouting too much, and back down. So complaining is not repair. Repair requires action. It requires counseling, new habits, boundaries, and scheduling difficult talks. Yeah, schedule difficult talks. I want us to solve this. I want us to sit down and spend time. Put the children by the in-laws or something, so to go and park up by the beach. Go and buy something and go and eat and sit down in private and talk about it. But it's a difficult talk. Get the difficult talks out of the way. That's the only way to rebuild trust. Alright, so we are almost 8 o'clock. I did not get through with my 10. I only got through with 4. But I'm going to give you the 5th one, and then we're going to do the next one next week, Thursday. No! I'm traveling. Alright. Number 5. Am I leaving to escape pain? Or am I leaving because I'm reached wise clarity? Let me say that again. You have to ask yourself, are you leaving to escape pain? Because some people are running from something. Running from somebody is not solution. Because you'll slam into something else thinking that this is better than what you're running from, and then realize you just slam into something that might be worse. People run from one relationship, and while they are frustrated with this, they meet somebody else. Get into the relationship with this next person and recognize this is not what they want either. Or recognize this person is worse than the one I was running from. That is what running does. So am I leaving to escape pain? Or am I leaving because I've reached wise clarity? It is clear now that this is not a right relationship for me. So those who meet a Christian, you become a Christian, and you're in a relationship that you feel, this is not a relationship that can take me into marriage. Wise clarity could cause you to make a decision to cause that to happen. Right? But if you're running because you're frustrated, you're tired, you're fed up, you don't get what you want, and so on, well, so decisions made in emotional desperation, that is key. Decisions that are made in emotional desperation often create regrets. And a wise decision is one you can explain calmly. Once you explain it, that's still hostile. You ain't clear in your head yet. You are still emotional. But once you could explain it calmly, produce evidence. This is what happens. This is what is causing it. These are examples of it. You can reflect on it without carrying all of that hatred. You have your long-term thinking as to where you're going, but not just raw emotion, then you might be in clarity stage. But as long as you're still hyper, take it down. Calm down. Alright, my people. That's the 5, and we would have to do the other 5 another time. Edwin Toolsy say try and make peace. Thank you. Kenneth says blame steps in when lines are blurred between dialogue and confrontation. Yep. Alright. How was the program today, people? If it was good, y'all show me some hearts now. Let me see if you got some value out of it. I hope you got some sort of value out of it. You can. I would hate to think you all sit down here all this time and ain't get nothing. So show me some hearts, like the page, subscribe, make sure that you're forward and share the discussion with somebody else. Charmin says, I believe some people should stay by themselves. Charmin, I believe you too. I believe that so. The Bible says some people are eunuchs by choice, and some people are eunuchs by force. Some people should really stay by themselves. Alright, so one more time before we leave. Free introductory course. Get help for your relationship. Understand relationship. People understand their job better than they understand relationships. People think because they are qualified in so many things, they have their masters, they have their doctorate, that the same way they can excel in academics, they can excel in relationships. That is one of the fallacies that is going to hit you hard, that will throw you down. Relationships is difficult to maneuver. It takes a lot out of you. It takes a lot of understanding, and if you don't understand relationship, you can't conquer it. This is why we want to teach you the 5 steps, so that you will understand. This program is for February 7th. Although the flyer says Valentine's Day, the actual program is on Valentine's Day when we actually will be doing it. But the steps, which is the free program, is on the 7th of February. Right? www. That's where you're going to register, or you go to my Facebook page. It is on my Facebook page, and you click the link. But it is www.michaelatstewart.com. Right? And you'll be able to register, or just call me on the number on top, 868-480-0080. If you have any problem to log on, hey, be here to help. My name is Michael Stewart. You have been such a lovely group of people. Always happy to have you all. Glenda Allen says it was great. Thank you very much. Landon came in late but was of value. Thanks, Landon. Great discussion. Pamela said thank you very much, Pam, and thank you for joining us regularly. Yes, great value, says Candice. Appreciate that for you, Candice. Alright, so we will see you all. As I said, it's a question mark as to what time I land back, but I will miss you all if we don't have it, but I will give you notice as to what it is. God bless you all. See you again. Michael Stewart out. Peace and love. Hey, here we go.